It is fascinating to watch Disney try to regain the momentum that they once had and drive their stock ever higher. At the heart of the problem is their Disney parks, low attendance. And so Disney had a moment at D23 to prove that they were truly listening. Shovel ready, they said. And in the midst of all, well, they were deceiving all. And now, the truth has come to call. Many people angry, devastated, and destroyed by the destruction Disney plans to rain upon the Magic Kingdom. Today we'll tell you how they have driven stocks down to a place few ever thought possible. Hello folks, welcome back to the Pro Channel, the place that changes hearts and minds simply by telling the truth. We find it to be a handy-dandy way of getting around in the world, and we hope you do as well. Today we're talking about the not-so-swell situation at the House of Mouse, where Disney is devoted to destroying Frontierland, Tom Sawyer Island, Rivers of America, sorry folks, and dashing away the dream of Walt Disney. Fans are not happy about this, nor are they happy about the Muppet situation. And so Disney taking out many of their fantastic legacy items and the beauty of the parks in order to park a bunch of animated cartoon cars racing around a track, it's not on track for getting stock investors happy or guests moving through the turnstiles again. In fact, it's amazing that Disney ever thought this was a good idea to begin with. Today, we'll dive deep into what's going wrong with the House of Mouse. We've got a great panel. Let's start off right now. This ain't pretty, Jonas. It is the Disney stock. It is dropping again. And if we go to the one day, Disney down 0.3%. You can see that steep decline. And over the 5 day, of course, Disney down. D23, the big Disney Expo, where they announced all of these beautiful things that apparently are going to destroy all the beautiful things we hold dear at Disney parks. Not convincing investors to buy into Disney. And over the 6 month, my oh my, look at this, how far the stock is falling. Down 60% or more in the past 5 years, from about almost a 200 high now. We're down at 85.68 and continuing apparently to fall. But Jonas, We are not falling. You feel pretty good today, eh?
Oh, yeah. I just heard about a new a Disney promotional offer that they're considering here. They're going to be working with Culver's in honor of the Rivers of America. There's an item that they sell only at Culver's that is called the concrete mixer. And I think they have an opportunity for some Disney branded concrete mixers, considering what they're about to do to the Rivers of America.
That World Showcase Lagoon at Epcot? Nobody rides those stupid boats that go across it. Nobody cares about it. You can shoot fireworks somewhere else. Drain it and fill it in, and let's get some DVC towers going over there.
Right in the middle of the park.
Anyway. Yeah,
sight lines,
why not?
Just forget about those sight lines. They could have 3 or 4 lands right there in that spot. 8 mini lands, if Disney's definition of land is what we're going with.
Fifth gate, drain Seven Seas Lagoon and Bay Lake, and here we go. We've got you've got a place to drop the fifth gate, folks, and we'll make it all about Strange World. It'll be the perfect fifth gate. Strange World.
That would be perfect. Living inside of a turtle that's judging you for your environmental decisions. That would be who doesn't want that?
Beautiful, Jonas.
So you've got
America.
You've got footage of Rivers of America from last night.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that's going to be a historic footage. I keep thinking it's such a good thing that this company takes forever to do anything. It's going to be I hope it's going to be years before they actually put the walls up.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think this is going to be fast because they know the backlash is intense and they don't care about their customers. They hate their customers. They want other customers. This is the Star Warsification of the Disney parks. And the problem is that with Star Wars, we can stop and you can start over in 5 years. The parks will be there. And what they're doing to Frontierland will be as unpopular as the Snow White trailer is today, but it will be there for 30 years. And that is why out of D23, a giant Disney expo that is designed to do nothing but give positive news for this company, D23, which is 3 days of nonstop glowing announcements presented in the very best light in front of people who paid thousands of dollars to be there because they are the biggest Disney fans on the planet, the Disney stock continues to drop. And that means, by the way, that D23 has been a failure. Change my mind. Anybody on the panel think that I mean, is D23 not made to make this company improve, at least in the standing of investors and those who would, put their money in it?
It's a
Oh,
high.
absolutely. Absolutely. D23 is like the super uber fans. Money is no object. We will fork it over, and we are the absolute sweet spot of money that Disney wants. And that's pretty much what they created D23 from the beginning to be, for the ultimate Disney fan.
It was a bone to the fans, and it was more fan driven. Now it's been twisted into a promotional piece, and you would think, bro, that with how much promotion that they had, with a 3-hour long studio panel, and I believe the equivalent at the parks.
Unprecedented expansions at the parks, Vash. How could it be? This was what the investors wanted, right? The investors wanted to see that they would fix the attendance problem and that they would face Epic Universe head on. Disney demonstrated their plan. It's just that on the way out the door, Disney gave the middle finger to all of their fans. Is that? I mean, am I wrong?
Well, I'll disagree with you somewhat. Investors wanted expansion, not replacement. Okay, that's
a good point. No, that's a good point, because Disney is playing a semantic game. So you're exactly right. When Disney says they're doing the largest expansion ever at Magic Kingdom, what they really mean is they're going to take pre-existing developed land that is used for the significant ambiance of the area, and they're going to destroy that. And they're going to replace it. That's not expansion.
And think of the timing of this. They didn't announce that they would be replacing Rivers of America until after the expo closed. That is key right there, because Josh Giamaro, he couldn't face the backlash. He couldn't face the criticism of replacing Rivers of America with cars. Not in person anyway. So waited till everything closed up shop, till everything was packed up and everybody was out. Everybody made it home to their locations, and then they announced this bombshell. That just tells you where they were at. Go ahead, Marvin. Sorry.
Well, you can.
Let me set you up real quick.
Sure.
Marvin, this is a company that must be broke. I mean, they just because otherwise, why wouldn't you give the consumer what the consumer wants? They have the land. They can keep Rivers of America, which I don't care if you have ever been on the Liberty Bell. I don't care if you've ever been on Tom Sawyer Island. It's not about that. It's about the beauty and the ambiance of the entire area. It is a part of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. It is a part of Tiana's. It is a part of Frontierland. It is a part of Haunted Mansion. It is a part of Liberty Square. It sets up everything in that area to look the way it does and to feel the way it does. And they're going to replace it with cheap, blank Blizzard Beach mountains with cartoon cars driving all over it. It's going to introduce noise. It's going to add cars to an 1800s mining town. So, Marvin, I just think this company must be broke, because otherwise they would put all this stuff in all of that expansion area. They must be broke. It's the only thing I can come up with.
Well, they're certainly creatively bankrupt, but now they might actually be bankrupt. But remember what Walt said when he unveiled the Epcot project. The Florida project has the blessing of size. It has enough space that can hold all the dreams and all the plans we can ever conceive. And instead of going with that original vision of developing new land, 60% of this property is completely undeveloped. They've just decided to redevelop the same footprint over and over and over again. And yes, Walt did say it's not a museum. They're meant to change, but I don't think he meant the way they're changing it. He wanted expansion. He wanted growth. He wanted to use that space that they purchased. When you realize that only 40% of Walt Disney World property is developed, you're thinking to yourself, what are they doing?
I can't understand it. I mean, I've heard excuses. I've heard them say, well, they don't want to maintain these areas. It's expensive to maintain them. And I think, well, they don't maintain them. So there's that expense gone. I've heard, that it's expensive to add areas to these parks. And I think, well, you're broke. That's the answer to that. Well, you're broke. The chief thing that Disney has to do, Marvin, is expand the capacity. We've said this over and over. And so at D23, when they were announcing some of these things, we were talking about, well, finally, and it took an hour to get to these announcements as well. We said, finally, they're expanding, and that's what the investors want. They want capacity. And then we found out, no, they're not. They're destroying beloved parts of the theme parks in order to plop these things down. And it is the fact that they hid this until after D23 tells you that they knew this would piss off their biggest fans. They were cowards of being booed, but they're not so cowardly that they won't do this to the consumers who will reject them outright and go somewhere else.
Well, I mean, you look at everything they announced, Pro. You've got Cosland, Villains Land, Monstropolis, Encanto, Indiana Jones. All of those things together could have been a fifth gate on its own. You could have developed. You could have developed a fifth park with all of those concepts, but instead we're choosing to bulldoze what was to make room for what can be, and what
going to unbridle it.
Yeah.
And in the middle of all of this, we have parks that are essentially falling apart. The Stitch ride is still sitting there rotting. There is the fact that they can't seem to keep things running on a regular basis. Whatever the brain drain is over there, Tiana's has had massive downtime for the fourth day in a row. Probably the fifth day. Yeah.
You're telling me.
They right, Marvin. I don't know how much you want to share on
this. No. Third time in a row that I've tried to ride Tiana's Bayou Adventure, got into the virtual queue, got to the park, only to have it go down for hours, and I never got to ride the ride. I still have not ridden it.
And
it's good thing they get that virtual queue to hide the fact that it's broken all the time.
And they're not talking about it like they're in a repair phase. They're not talking about it like they're getting ready to spring forward. They're trying to say we're awesome now and get ready for more awesome. This is the biggest lie to me. The fact that they will not admit that they've done a poor job of maintaining these parks right now. The only thing they have going for them right now is the fact that the parks are making record per capita revenue. And that is going to go away unless they do something like this that keeps the people that do not care about quality coming to the parks. But they even said on the earnings call, the lower income people are feeling the burn and the higher income people are going elsewhere. So they want those middle people who have just enough money that they can do this and apparently no taste.
So let me toss this to Lorena real quick. Lorena, they could have dropped a Cars attraction with the same size where the Tomorrowland Speedway is. There's no reason that they had to put Cars in Frontierland where it doesn't belong and destroy all of the ambiance there. They could have put Radiator Springs northwest of Big Thunder. They have all the acreage they need to put Radiator Springs, the full-blown ride, instead of this downgrade. They have chosen to do this because they needed something to destroy Tom Sawyer Island and Rivers of America with. But as Jonas pointed out, there are empty, vacant attraction spaces in Tomorrowland. There are eyesores and horrible polluting noises in Tomorrowland that any of this could have gone into there. They selected to destroy Tom Sawyer Island, and it was just a question of what could they get to destroy it with. We'll bring Ron back on, who's been having a bit of a technical difficulty. Welcome back, Ron. Lorena, your thoughts on them just trying to find anything they could to destroy this with?
Look, it started with Splash Mountain. If they were willing to desecrate an attraction that's been beloved for decades, nothing is safe. And we'd already heard rumblings about, the Stories Matter. The Stories Matters group going through attractions, finding things that are quote unquote problematic. Jungle Cruise, they screwed that up. Splash Mountain, they messed that up. Tom Sawyer Island, that's definitely a problem. So that's what they went with. It's problematic. Guess what? It'll satisfy all of the people that, they're beholden to in the company who are more about political correctness than profit. Why not get rid of Rivers of America? It's just a space, we can just use it. We can dump our IP in there, not even thinking about, or basically don't even care, destroying the aesthetic of the park to put this concrete jungle up here. And this is something that I was thinking about. It's a theme park, not a theme compound. And this is what they're doing. Yeah, this is what they're doing with it. They're going to put up this concrete compound till eventually, when you're over at the Haunted Mansion, was supposed to be creepy and isolated and all that. Imagine you're in line for, Haunted Mansion and you're listening to all the creepy noise and having that impending, doom, yet you're curious about the haunted house, and you hear ka-chow.
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
Wow,
You said the word.
You're
You
doing
said the
great
word,
riding all over
Lorena.
Frontierland. Ka-chow, ka-ching. Good job. Hey, look, there's Haunted Mansion. Wow. And folks, we've come to the end yet again. Another video of excellence for you. We hope you agree. If you do, if you could be so kind as to click that like button, we certainly would appreciate it. Also, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, we'll see you real soon. 3 videos a day right here. So fret not yet, for more content is coming, I bet. All right, folks, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.